Here are some examples of different companies and organisations who produce or make a statistical report. So they can be companies, YouTube, McDonald's, Google, Apple, Coca-Cola, etc., etc. It could be government organisations or department that create a report. Okay, they might want to know about the level of home ownership in New Zealand or the age distribution. It could be news organisations, okay, that want to know and report on the news. Social media, scientists, researchers. So all of these people have a reason to create a report. And when we're given a report, one of the first things we want to do is to look at the purpose and the audience. So we want to know who is doing this report and why would they make this report, because there can be reasons behind that. If I was a company who want to show that sugar is a good thing because then you'll buy more of my product, knowing that is important. So that's what we want to do, is we want to think about what is the purpose of this report and who is the audience, the people that you are writing it for. So let's have a look at this exercise here. So why would somebody write a statistical report? So think about those people, scientists, researchers, news organisations, companies, governments. Why would they write a report? So they would write a report to find out more about a topic that is interesting and relevant to them. Okay, so for example, it could be to show that their product is better than someone else's. Companies, I can't spell company, sorry. It could be to show that business is healthy in the country. Okay, so there's some kind of message that they are trying to convey in their report. Okay, that's the key idea, is they've got a reason to do it. So let's think about, why would we want to know who the author of the report is? So knowing the author of the report, this enables us to know what their bias is. So if I know who has written the report, I can critique the report knowing their bias. So for example, if a teacher writes a report on a student, they are biased in their own opinion of that student. And it may or may not be the same as others, as other teachers. Okay? So knowing who has written this report allows us to identify what their bias might be. Then why do we want to know who's paid for the research? Well, in that same kind of way, we want to know about the bias. So we want to know what bias there might be in the report itself due to who has paid for it. Okay, so for example, if a report comes out saying that sugar is good for our diet, and I know that the research was paid for by the Coke company, then I take the findings with a grain of salt. Or In other words, I know that the study has been paid for by a company who is trying to sell their product. Okay, so these are some of the important things that we need to know. Okay, now we've got two different articles here, two contradicting articles. So one talks about there is no evidence that cell phones cause cancer. All right, and this article was published in the Hindu Business Line News. Another headline was link found between cell phone use and increase in brain tumours. And this article was published by the World Health Organization. So they're saying opposite things. One saying that there is a link between cell phone use, and the other one saying that there's no evidence of that. So who do we believe? Who do I trust more? And knowing who has written this, or in this case, I know that one was published by the World Health Organization and one was published by the Hindu Business Line News, who am I more likely to believe? Personally, I'm more likely to believe the article from the World Health Organization. They are more of a neutral organization and therefore aren't trying to sell me a product. Whereas the Hindu Business Line News may be trying to sell me their product, and therefore that would be a reason why they might produce this headline. So that's what I want to explain. I would be more likely to believe the headline from the World Health Organization, as they are more neutral in both their funding and their philosophy, and are not a business trying to sell me a product. On top of this, so additionally, I would expect that the World Health Organization have viewed a lot more research before writing their article. Giving me more confidence in their report. Okay.